guys, thanks for tuning in. Tonight I'm going to be making a set of coasters, and I have been inspired by watching Julie on her YouTube channel, which is Pouring Your Heart Out. If you don't follow Julie, you absolutely need to. She does some wonderful stuff, and I love watching her just experiment with things. It's very inspiring. But she's been doing some puddle pours lately, trying to get kind of this crackly effect. And I've done a few of those in the past, and I've gotten mixed results. So I thought tonight I would try and do a similar thing. So what I'm gonna do tonight, I've got my round coaster molds out, just doing those. And I'm gonna do a blue and a gold theme. So for my blue, I'm using the Just Resin. Actually, I haven't even opened it yet. I just got a bunch of these in from Artist Till Death. Just got my shipment, so I haven't used this color yet, but it's called Magic Blue. Looks like a really pretty royal blue. So I'm using that. Then I am also using the Armor Art pigment paste in the color blue. I got this from Bare Woods. So check them out. They have a lot of really good woodworking stuff too, not just resin. And then I'm going to use the Unicone 24 karat gold mica. I've been using this, and this is absolutely amazing. Amazing. It's super, super metallic, and it just melts right into the resin. It's so easy to mix. And then for my white, I'm using my Jewelescent mica in luster white. This is like a pearl white. So I got this on Amazon. I think it was only either $10 or $20 for this 100-gram bag. So I will have links for everything in the description. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the colors. Just gonna use little cups here. So the trick with this technique is to have a transparent color. And since I just got these, I haven't even used it yet. I don't know for sure if this will be transparent. I'm hoping so, because this is the one I'm going to use for my transparent color. I know that these Armor Arts are very opaque, and it really doesn't take much, just a couple drops. And then of course the gold is a mica, and the white is a mica, so those are not transparent. So hoping for the blue to be transparent. And then the resin I'm using tonight is the Naked Fusion Artist Resin. It's their 1-to-1. That's pretty much my go-to resin. I use a few others here and there, and I'm always trying out new resins, because I think depending on what you're doing, some resins might be more suitable than others. So I've found this one, like I said, this one's pretty much my go-to, but it's not the best for little tiny things. So I'm still experimenting with that. And then for big pieces like trays, it takes a really, really long time to cure solid. It takes about a month. So my trays stay really bendy, and I make trays and clocks and, you know, bigger things like that. So I'm also trying out different resins for bigger pieces too. So if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments. I'm always happy to see what other people use and what they think. All right. And then the last cup. I don't really know how much of each color I need, but I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just doing 4. It's about 2 ounces. Yeah, there was 6 ounces in the cup, so these are 2 ounces, and that's, yeah, so about 2 ounces of each color. And then I'm gonna leave some clear, because you need some clear at the end to, you know, push everything out to the side. So, all right, let's get the colors mixed up. Just put that out of the way. All right, so I've used a couple of the other Just Resin pastes. They're very, very thick. Oh, that's so beautiful. Get closer to the camera. You can see it's almost like, almost looks like mica. It's got that really pretty pearl. I don't know how well you can see it, but yeah, that looks really cool. So I'm just gonna do just like this much on the stick and see how that mixes up. When I used their, I don't remember which color it was, but I didn't stir it all the way. And then when the piece cured and I took it out of the mold and turned it over, there were little tiny chunks of the pigment. So you have to make sure you stir this really well. Oh, and I can see this is definitely going to be transparent. And it doesn't need to be like completely see-through for this. It just needs to have some transparency to get that crackly effect. If you don't have any kind of transparency, it's just going to sit on the bottom and you'll just have a solid color on the bottom. Whatever the first color you pour, that's what the bottom is going to be, which we definitely don't want that. All right, I think this is too transparent, so I'm going to add a bit more. It's definitely not as pigmented as some of the other ones from them that I've used, but I'm also not using much of it yet. I always like to start with a little bit. You can always add more, you know? Kind of learn as you go too. I just love that shimmer. It's so pretty. And when I mix colors, I do it just the same way as when I mix resin. I scrape the sides and the bottom because you want to make sure you get all of it mixed in. Okay. So you can see that is pretty transparent, but it's got a really nice shimmer. So I'm gonna go with that. All right, and then the blue. You know what? I'm gonna put a little dot on the lid here so that I know what this looks like later. All right, next will be the blue. These pigments are really nice. They're pretty thick. You have to squeeze kind of hard. All right, so just put 3 drops in. We'll start with that. So this one I want to be opaque. Might need to add another drop. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to put 3 more drops in. I took my dogs to the vet this morning for their spring vaccinations, and they are both, you can tell they're not feeling very good. They're both laying on the couch in the living room, and they have no interest in life right now. They're just completely pooped, poor little things. Okay, that's still a little too transparent for me, so I'm gonna do 2 more drops. I've used the armor art before for several different projects, and some of them are a little more opaque than others, it seems. So this blue seems to trend towards transparent. I need to start marking the bottles because I always forget which ones are opaque and which ones are transparent. All right, that's much better. Still just a smidge transparent, but it's pretty dark. Alrighty, now this gold. This is absolutely stunning. And I'm going to put this in up close to the camera so you can see what it does when it hits the resin, because it is the coolest thing. Stand up. Oh, camera's over here. It's like turning into molten gold right in front of my eyes. It just sinks right in. It's so easy to mix in. It's like gold. And this is more of an antique gold. It's not the yellow gold. It's got a bit of, I'm not gonna say green. It's not one of those golds that has like a green cast to it, but it's definitely not a yellow gold. It's, I would call it antique. It's so pretty. And that stuff, that's gold you don't need a lot of either. And with mica, if you don't mix it well, you end up with little chunks of powder. So just making sure, again, scraping the sides and the bottom, just giving it a good stir. Okay, and then the last one is the white. I love this mica too. I use this for a lot of things. It's such a pretty, oh, there's a hair. It's just such a pretty pearl color. When you mix mica, you want to start slow. If you start too fast, the powder will just like puff right out of the cup all over the place, and you don't want to inhale it. And I usually do work with my respirator on, in case anyone is wondering. If you've watched my channel before, you know there are some videos where I do voiceovers, and then some videos like this one today where I'm talking. And it just depends if I can open up my windows in my studio. So today I've got the windows open. You might even hear traffic or birds. I always have a filter running, but depending on whether or not I can have good ventilation determines if I wear my respirator or not. And Naked Fusion, the resin that I use, it is a non-VOC resin, but I have asthma, so just to be safe, I like to wear the respirator. Always wear gloves too. As you can see, I'm kind of sticking to these sticks a little bit. I reuse my sticks a lot, and I think this stick and the one in the gold, I used this morning for another project, and they're not quite dry, even though I wipe them off. So they're sticking to me, and I'm glad I have gloves on. Alrighty, so now I don't even know what order to pour these in. Always the dilemma. So I do know though that we're going to start with the clear, or not the clear, the transparent. I'm going to do 2 layers of each. Don't want to overdo it. I can come back and add more. I'm just going to do a little bit to start with. And these coasters are really big. They're 5 inches across. And they're fairly deep. So I'm not going to fill them all the way up. I may come back and do a top coat later. We'll just have to see. I always kind of fall into that trap of feeling like I have to fill the coasters to the top. But then I end up with like these really thick, crazy coasters, and it's not really necessary. All right, I'm gonna do the blue next. Maybe I should do the white. I'm gonna do the blue. I always hold my stick in my other hand so I can wipe off the drips. I don't have to use my finger or paper towel and waste resin. So just a good technique if you guys find yourself struggling with resin dripping everywhere. Just hold your stick in your other hand, then you can wipe the lip of the cup as you go. These are in my way. All right, now I'm gonna do do I want to do the white or the gold? Oh boy. Guess I'll do the white, and then when I come for the next layer, I'll do the gold. When I've watched Julie do this and she pours the white first and then puts the gold on top, her gold is a lot more of a yellow gold than mine is. It always looks like eggs. Eggs over easy. My gold is not as yellow, but it might still look like that a little bit. Looks like molten gold pouring out. It's so pretty. I don't know if this gold is going to give the same reaction that, oh, these sticks are sticky. I don't know if this gold will give me the same result as the one that Julie uses though. That's why this is the first time I'm using this gold in a puddle pour. I've used other golds and not gotten that cool crackly, you know, where the gold kind of mixes in. I have not been able to get that effect, so I'm curious to see if I get it with this gold. She uses I think she uses a Resin gold, which they're based in Australia, and I cannot get that here. Oh, that's so pretty. You can see the gold through this blue. It's gorgeous. Let's use this all up. Blue. If you know of a source in the US to get Resin, please share it in the comments. I would love to try out some of their colorants too. And I don't mind ordering stuff from overseas. I've ordered stuff from Australia, from UK, even from Russia. But they have to ship to the US. And Resin does not ship to the US as far as I'm aware. All right, so this one I was gonna do the gold and then the white on top of it. It's funny, when I started with the little small puddles, I thought, oh, this is never gonna fill up the coaster. But it is. This is like a really pretty antique gold. It reminds me of old money. Not a new penny, but an old penny. All right, last one, and then the clear. I wonder if we're gonna get some green or teal with the blue and the gold mixing. I wonder about that. This gold isn't very yellow, so I don't know. I've used this gold with a royal blue mica powder and a royal blue alcohol ink, and I did get some green. So I just wonder if that's going to happen in here too. Okay, and now the clear. I'm just actually gonna torch real quick. Never ever torch when you use alcohol ink. I lit a coaster on fire once. So for a while I wouldn't even use the torch anymore. I was like, I terrified myself. I prefer to use the heat gun, but can't always use the heat gun. Sometimes, you know, the heat gun moves the resin around, and that's not always a good thing. So now you can see the clear is just pushing all those colors out. I was debating with myself whether or not I should put something in the center of these. You know, some glass or glitter or anything, which I normally do if I have a circular coaster. But I think I'm gonna skip it this time because I don't think you'll be able to see it. I think that this is going to be pretty solid on the bottom. You might be able to see through the center just a little bit, like see some light, through the center, but I don't think you're gonna actually be able to see if I put any glass or anything there. So I'm gonna skip that this time. But I might be wrong and maybe I'll regret it. All right, just cleaning up my mess a little bit here. All right, torching again. All right, let me bring you in for a close-up. My white almost looks silver. So there's a lot of activity happening on those edges. Look at that gold. So pretty. They almost look like, that looks like the surface of the moon. Those aren't bubbles. That's like, I wonder if that's from the gold. Like I said, Julie's gold that she uses creates like this really cool, I don't want to say fluffy or bubbly effect. It just looks puffy, and I wonder if that's from the gold. I don't know. All right, so I will be back tomorrow, and we'll demold these and see what happens. See you then. My poor girls got their shots today. Oh, squishy face. Well, I'm sure they'll feel better tomorrow. Just stopped back in. It's been about an hour since the pour. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Lots of movement, and I'm really happy. Got my fingers crossed because you can see all three colors on the top, which I'm hoping that means all three colors are also on the bottom. I really don't want to end up with a dominant color on the bottom, so fingers crossed. Hopefully they're doing well. Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. It's been, I don't know, 15 hours or so since I poured last night. And this is the top side that I poured on. They're all very similar. And you can kind of, see through them. They are a bit transparent. But let's see what they look like on the other side. So the edges, lots of nice colors on the edges. Other side. So definitely got some really nice crackly effects. Got some of that green that I was wondering about. Tons of sparkle. I think the sparkle is actually coming from the white mica. And it might be a little bit from that blue too. That paste. They're so pretty. Lots of white on the edge on this one. So they're all very similar, but oh, they look so pretty. So I think next time I may not use as much white, and I'm gonna try and use an opaque color. I had two that were, the one was obviously very transparent, the paste, and then that Armor Art blue wasn't completely opaque. It was dark, but not fully opaque. So I think next time I'm gonna try with much more opaque color and a transparent, and then not quite as much white. But that does not mean that I don't love these. These are absolutely gorgeous. but I'm always curious to try different things and see what you get. So there we go. There's the set. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you enjoy the tutorial, please subscribe to my channel. Check out my social media, and I will see you guys next time.